Bonjour, je m'appelle Veronique Martin-Place et je suis l'auteur de Finding Your Fit in Chicago, The Essential Guide for Expat Families. Vous pouvez trouver ce guide sur tous les sites d'Amazon en version papier ou en version Kindle. Aujourd'hui, je vais vous lire les deux pages d'introduction de mon livre, qui est écrit en anglais, pour que vous compreniez un petit peu mieux de quel est le contenu de ce livre et aussi pourquoi j'ai écrit ce livre. Hello, I am Veronique Martin-Place and I am the author of Finding Your Fit in Chicago, the essential guide for expat families. Today I'm going to read to you the two pages of introduction of my book, and I remind you that you can find Finding Your Fit in Chicago on all the Amazon websites in paperback or Kindle edition. Bien, je vais commencer à lire donc les deux pages d'introduction. If you are an expat family planning to relocate to Chicago, you're probably asking yourselves, where should we live? Which school should our child attend? How do we get connected with other local and or expat families? Well, you have picked the right guide because Finding Your Fit in Chicago has been written for expat parents who want to settle quickly in their new home city. This practical guide will provide the information you need to make the best decisions before and after your arrival. Key topics such as neighborhoods, healthcare, schooling, shopping and more are covered. This guide is about more than settling your expat family. It is about becoming a local, understanding the local etiquette, and overcoming culture shock. Finally, this book will help you to discover Chicago as a family and make the most of your stay. Getting inside the information and reading the testimonials of parents who have already been through what you are experiencing is a relief when you are the new family on the block. And that is what this book is about. You will find interviews, case studies, tips, and personal stories to give you a better idea of what to expect, what to do, and just as importantly, what not to do. When I learned a family was moving to Chicago, I thought this third relocation would be a piece of cake. After all, the US was not so different from France. It's a Western country, and I already speak the language, I told myself. It's not like when I arrived in Sri Lanka, where everything, including my skin color, was different. After almost 4 years in Chicago, I can tell you I was wrong. The most difficult was not being an expat in the US, but being an expat parent in a country where parenting expectations and education are very different from your own. This is particularly true if, like me, you choose to put your children in the local school system. The first year was rocky, as any first year in a new city and country can be. But the fact it was my first expatriation with children attending elementary school made a big difference. Not only did my daughters start a school life, but they did it in a completely new environment and an educational system which I had to learn about at the same time. What a challenge for a family! I started to look for resources to help me in this new adventure and gathered information to make my daily life easier. Slowly, the idea of a guide specifically tailored for expat families in Chicago started to form in my head. I would have given my 80s for a book like this when we landed in Chicago in the summer of 2008, which is why I wrote it. I hope you found it helpful and enjoyable. Voilà, c'était les deux pages d'introduction de Finding Your Fit in Chicago. Well, it was the two introductive pages of Finding Your Fit in Chicago. J'espère que cela vous donne envie de le lire. Je vous rappelle que vous pouvez le trouver sur tous les sites d'Amazon en version papier ou en version Kindle. Well, I hope you enjoyed the two first pages and that it gave you you want to read more. And I remind you that you can find Finding Your Feet in Chicago on all the Amazon websites in paperback and Kindle edition. Thank you, merci, à bientôt, au revoir.